Welcome to the Mindset with Morgan podcast. I am so grateful you're here. I'm Morgan, and I am a multiple seven-figure entrepreneur who adores all things business. I love building great teams and great companies who benefit the world. I've been building and running startups for nearly 15 years, and I've learned a few things along the way. I'm a teacher by heart, and I'm so excited to share with you. I'm also human, and I need a good pick-me-up and mindset shift before meetings, tough conversations, and sometimes just on my morning commute. My hope is that you can use this podcast as a quick mindset reset before you start your day or whenever you need a mindset shift. I also love a good funny story with a helpful lesson involved, and that is what you'll get here. Now let's learn, grow, and have a few laughs. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. So, as you know, this is our first official episode of the Mindset with Morgan podcast, and I am just so grateful that you've joined today. And what I want to do in this initial first episode is really just talk about how this got started, because my goal for you is that you walk away from any of these podcast episodes that you listen to and feel inspired. So for me, before I have a tough conversation or I'm about to go speak or teach or I'm feeling just stuck, I love listening to podcasts, especially podcasts where I feel invincible and like I can conquer the world at the end of listening to it. And I just think it's so funny. It's so interesting. Just in this world that we can go from being frustrated, feeling worthless, feeling like we can't go anywhere or do anything right, to feeling like we can conquer the world just by a quick 10-15 minute episode of listening to something positive. Like, isn't that wild? If that doesn't tell you that we are not products of our circumstances, I don't know what does. I mean, think about it. You can feel like crap and then hear something really motivational or have a great conversation with somebody who lifts you up and inspires you. And you walk away from that feeling so much better. But think about it. Your situation hasn't changed. The day-to-day, what happenings around your day, nothing has changed. But what has changed is your mindset. And that is why this is called Mindset with Morgan, because it is about your mindset. It matters what you are putting into your brain. Your brain is the most valuable thing that you can really take care of because it really impacts so much. So what I want to do on this first episode is really just talk about how we got here and how we got started, and hopefully inspire you to do something awesome today too. So just a little bit about me. I know personally for me, I don't particularly like to listen to people who haven't been there before. For example, if I am trying to learn how to build something specific and I'm watching YouTube videos, I want to make sure that what I'm listening to or reading or watching is done by somebody who's been there before. So that's just a personal thing for me and something that's been important for me because it helps me learn and feel like, okay, I'm actually learning from somebody who's been there before. So what you can expect on this podcast is really, I won't talk about anything that I haven't done or learned myself or gone through myself or been in said situation before. To me, that's really important. And over the years, I've learned so much. And oftentimes I get asked questions or people come up to me and say, I don't know how you sleep. How do you do it? And I've always felt like, well, I don't feel like my world is that crazy. I honestly sleep really, really great. And I've learned that there's certain things that have come easy for me or that I have natural gifts in, and my desire is to share those with the world. I want to inspire people and I want to teach people how to do the things that they want to do. Now, the cool thing about life is that it can look however you want it to. If your dream is to have a dog washing business, great. If your dream is to be the best administrative assistant possible and work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, then that is amazing. And I think the self-help or mindset business has often made people who don't own businesses feel like they're worthless or throwing their life away. And I firmly do not believe that. I believe that we are all meant to do very specific and different things. That's what makes the world go round. There's no way we can all have the exact same talents. There's no way we can all have the exact same desires. If we did, we would all be vying for the exact same thing, and we're obviously not. We're all naturally gifted in some areas and not some others, and I have always firmly believed that everybody has a natural God-given gift. Yes, I'm going to talk about God because that's a huge part of my life as well. I would not be where I am. Frankly, I don't think anyone would be where they were today if it weren't for God. But I think we all are given natural gifts, and part of life is figuring out what those are and how to tap into them. And I think many of us can't tap into them until we are in the right mindset. So I'm so excited to share what I've learned along the way, because I have built and scaled multiple 7-figure businesses. And I say that not to brag, but so that you know you're listening to somebody who's been there before. I have fallen on my face more times than I can even count. And I'm going to talk about those instances in different episodes because there's insane lessons there. And we don't go through things like that if there isn't a good lesson. Otherwise, it was just what, for fun? No, not necessarily. So whether you're a business owner, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a 100% commission salesperson, in which case, newsflash, you are a business owner. You are responsible for bringing in your own income and creating systems and processes and structures to make said income. Hence, you are a business owner. Whether you have a job that you love or maybe don't love, this is supposed to be helpful for you, for anybody, not just those who want to start businesses. There are lessons from each of these, and I think the biggest piece that I want everyone to take from this is whatever you're doing, if you love it, keep doing more of that, because life is too short to try and be things that we think we're supposed to be or that look sexy on Instagram. And that also has been something for me that has been hard and has hindered me from starting a podcast to begin with. And that's really the main lesson I want to talk about here is getting started. I did not realize I enjoyed speaking or that I was good at speaking and teaching for a long time. And the only reason I actually learned this was probably about 10 years ago. I was put in a position where there was a need in a company that I worked for to teach and to speak, and I had literally never done any of this. I recall the first time I ever had to give a speech at work, and obviously we all have the nightmares about being in 5th grade and having to present in front of the class. I was always the one who wanted to go last because I absolutely hated it. But I recall getting up in front of people at work and feeling my gut just feel absolutely sick and not being able to breathe. And I was thrown into a position where I had to speak for an hour or two at a time, multiple times per week. And eventually, I think I just, had to bulldoze through it and learned that I was good at it. And I didn't know I was good at it until other people started telling me, like, hey, you're really good at this. I'm like, no way, there's no way I'm good at this. And then I started to enjoy it over time. And that's something that I naturally, like I said, have been good at and have enjoyed. But when I looked at Instagram and when I read what other people were doing, there seems to be sometimes a certain type of role or a certain type of podcast or a certain type of Instagram account that it feels like we're supposed to have as someone who wants to be influential or who wants to teach or who wants to coach. And the thing I want you to take away from this is that things can look however you want them to. A podcast can look however you want it to. And just because it maybe looks similar to others or it looks like something no one's ever done before, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And I prevented myself from starting a podcast for years. And I'm somebody who enjoys speaking. Like, it sounds silly if you think about it, but I always told myself, well, who wants to hear from me? Who wants to learn anything from me? Why would someone want to learn from me? Why would they want to listen to me? Maybe some people think my voice is annoying or I talk too slow or too fast or they, whatever. And those are all limiting beliefs. So if there's something that you've been thinking about doing or wanting to do, my hope is that you walk away from this particular episode inspired to take one step forward in something that you've been wanting to start Because you guys, you're the only one who's actually going to start it. No one else is going to start it for you. They might help you, they might support you, just like I have help and support in this new venture, in this project. But at the end of the day, people cannot help and support me and make this happen if I don't give them the content and sit down and record the things that I have. And you guys, I promise you that I have written 1,000 episodes already. No one can help you. No one can support you if you don't start the thing that you've been wanting to do. So if there's been something on your heart, one thing I can assure you of is that it's been on your heart for a reason. It's because you are supposed to do it. And I love to think of ideas as opportunities that God is literally handing you, and you have it for a moment and then it could go away. So if something keeps showing up for you, if something keeps being dropped in your lap and you keep thinking, oh man, that thing keeps coming at me and it's something that keeps coming in front of me, there is a reason. There is a reason. So as you go about your day, I'm excited to continue to get to talk to you over the months and over the years. My goal is that you leave this podcast, every single episode, inspired and excited and ready to conquer the world. I would love nothing more than for that to be the feeling that you have after you get done listening to an episode. So I am so grateful that you joined today. I will do my best to keep our episodes to under 20 minutes for those of you who have a commute or love to go on walks or whatever it may be. I personally, if a podcast episode is over like 30 minutes, I'm typically like, oh gosh, I don't want to get really into it and then have to stop because I'm probably not going to go back. If it's an hour, most likely I'm not listening to it unless it's been something I've been like really dying to learn about or I knew was coming. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you have a good idea of what you will learn in these podcast episodes. I'm so excited to begin to share and actually do the things that you guys, for years, I have been sitting and writing down and planning, but never actually executing. You can plan all you want, but it's the execution part that really actually makes things happen. You can expect to see some awesome interviews. I have so many good, talented friends who I cannot wait to share with you and for you to learn from. So again, I'm grateful that you've listened to this episode. That means so much to me. I look forward to continuing to talk and to teach and to educate because that is something that I think we all need more of. And more than anything, I hope you are inspired. So have a wonderful day and we'll see you guys soon.